What's up? In this video, I'm going to tell you guys exactly why you should only eat food you enjoy. So let's get into it. I believe that if your diet has a name, it's probably not sustainable. And unfortunately, this is what most people do, which is why most people fall off the wagon after a few weeks, a few months, even a few years. Because I believe if you can't sustain a diet for a decade, there's no point in doing it for a day. That's why so many people lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, go up and down in this vicious cycle for the rest of your life. Keto, vegan, carnivore, intermittent fasting may work great for some people for a short period of time. But if you want to sustainably lose weight and keep it off for good, you should go about it differently. Because again, if your goal is to bench press more, run marathons, or if you have a performance based goal, then this might work great. But if you want to sustainably lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life for good, then what I call a U diet is what you should approach. Because again, with this, if you want to completely restrict yourself and never eat any carbs, then yeah, you can do this. But is that really realistic in terms of going to weddings, in terms of Christmas, in terms of going to dinner parties, in terms of the weekends, in terms of the holidays, in terms of vacation? This probably won't last. You could 100% lose 20 pounds doing this. But what happens after you lose those 20 pounds? Most times you probably gain the weight again. And if that's what you want, that's cool. But that's not what I want. That's not what the people I work with want. So if your diet has a name, probably not sustainable. If you want to lose weight and keep it off for good for the rest of your life into your 60s, 70s, 80s, you need a U diet. And a U diet is something that you can stick to for the rest of your life. And here's exactly how you can have a U diet. Nobody talks about this. I don't know why. It's very simple, very pragmatic, and you can listen to what I'm about to say, and within the next 10 minutes, truly, truly change your life and lose the weight off for good. So take notes. What I want you to do, and this exercise will probably take you 5 minutes. It's going to hurt your hand a bit because you're going to have to write things down, but it will honestly change your life. So do this. Write a list of everything you eat. If everything you've ever eaten ever. If you want more ideas, you can go to your kitchen, go to the fridge. You can think about what you ate last week. You can think about foods at restaurant. Write everything down. Don't filter if it's healthy, expensive, convenient. Write everything down. Pause this video and write the list. Cool. I'm assuming you did that. So once you have the list of everything you've ever eaten ever, I want you to break down everything into one of four categories: healthy, tasty, healthy, not tasty, not healthy but tasty, not healthy, not tasty. It's pretty obvious what's tasty or not tasty because that's completely up to you if something tastes good or doesn't really taste good. And if you can't decide if a food is healthy or not, simply think how you feel 10 or 15 minutes after you eat the food. Most times, after you eat junky, unhealthy foods, you feel tired, lethargic, and your stomach kind of hurts. If you eat healthy food, 15 minutes afterwards, you tend to feel light, energized, and feel a lot better about yourself and afterwards in general. And in general, just think about if the food is light, probably healthy. If it's super heavy, probably unhealthy. If it's processed, it's probably unhealthy. If it's a one ingredient food, it's probably healthy. So chicken is made out of chicken. A banana is made out of banana. Pop Tarts are made out of 50 ingredients, most of which you probably can't name any of them. So that's a good way to think about it. If it's a one ingredient natural food, probably on the healthier side. If it's made out of 50 ingredients, which you don't know the name of most of the ingredients, probably not healthy. Once you categorize all the foods into these four categories, now you have what I call a U diet. Because if 80% of what you eat is both healthy and tasty, that's a pretty decent diet that you can stick to for the rest of your life. no matter where you're at, no matter what restaurant you're at, if you eat foods that is both healthy and tasty, it makes sustainably losing weight pretty easy. So 80% is both healthy and tasty. 10% is healthy but not so tasty. And the reason why this is important is because I don't believe dieting is about restricting, is about eating less, is about diminishing your options. I believe the exact opposite. I believe dieting or eating healthy is about expanding your taste buds and eating more foods, different types of foods. And there's so many foods that are healthy and tasty, but you don't know that they're tasty because you've never tried them. So if you're at a restaurant and you want to try some exquisite cuisine, or if you're at the grocery store and you've seen a fish or vegetable you've never tried, grab it and try it. It might be healthy and tasty. You don't know, right? And even if it's healthy but not so tasty, even if it's like kind of okay, then if you eat it often enough, it can actually become tasty because your taste buds get used to it. As an example, for me, I used to not really love the taste of onions. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really love it either. But every time I ate soup, or I was making chicken, or I was ordering a sandwich, or I was ordering a salad, and there happens to be onion on the salad or the soup or the chicken or the sandwich, I would eat it. And I kept doing that, and eventually I got used to the taste, and now I genuinely like onions. I actually love it. I think it goes great with everything. So even a food that tastes like meh, tastes okay, if you eat it often enough, it can go from healthy, not tasty, to healthy and tasty. And the key here is I'm not telling you to eat foods that you find completely disgusting. As an example, I think kombucha is the worst thing that humanity has ever made. I think it's completely disgusting. Objectively healthy, but I think it's completely disgusting. So much so that if there was a gun pointed to my head and the guy with the gun said, Daniel, you have to drink this bottle of kombucha or I'm pulling the trigger, I would be like, yo, dude, let's not waste anybody's time. I'm not drinking this. Go ahead. That's how bad I find kombucha. I think it's disgusting. I think it's awful. So I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about foods that you don't love, but you don't really hate. Another example for me was mushrooms. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. That was okay. So I just added mushrooms when I ate omelette or like made soup or whatever. And then slowly started eating more and more. Now I find it healthy. Now I find it tasty as well. So that's the point of the healthy, not tasty. 10% try new foods or keep eating foods that you find are kind of okay. Eat those often enough, they become healthy and tasty. The entire goal is to expand your healthy and tasty food list. Because if you have a lot of food that is both healthy and tasty, that makes weight loss pretty easy. Last 10%, eat whatever you want. 10% of your calories, you want to eat donuts, you want to eat brownies, you want to eat ice cream, you want to eat pizza, go ahead. 10% won't do you anything. It won't harm you. So don't worry about that. So again, ideal diet, something that you can sustainably sustain for the rest of your life so you don't just lose the weight, but keep it off for good, is 80% healthy, tasty, 10% healthy, but not so tasty, and 10% eat whatever you want. Finally, and this might sound obvious, but so many people make this mistake, avoid not healthy, not tasty foods. You might be thinking, why would anybody ever eat that? But let me ask you a question. Your kids ordered ice cream and they got full. They only ate half. And now they don't want to eat ice cream anymore. And you don't even like that flavor of ice cream. What do? Do you throw it away or do you eat it? If your kids ordered whatever, chicken nuggets or french fries or donut, it doesn't matter, and they only ate half of it, then they want to play because they got full, because they get full very quickly. And you were feeling full as well, but then you saw the french fries on the plate and you don't want to waste food. What do? Do you eat the food? Because most people do. And that's a big mistake because something that is important for yourself to ingrain in your head is as soon as you purchase the food, be it at a restaurant or at the grocery store, as soon as you purchase the food, it's done. Whether you eat the food that's on the plate or not is not going to save any starving kids in China. It's not going to make you're not going to have more money in your bank account. That's not going to happen. So throwing food away is not a waste. It is not. You have to really ingrain that in your head. Eating unhealthy and tasty food, that's a waste of your life. As soon as the money is spent, the money is spent. If you throw away foods that is not healthy, not tasty, nothing bad will happen. The only thing that's bad that is going to happen is if you eat it, because that ruins your health. So if you order a dessert, but the dessert doesn't taste amazing, don't eat it. Just because there's food on your plate does not mean that there's any obligation for you to eat it at all. This sounds obvious, but so many people make this mistake. If there's food on your plate that's not healthy and not tasty, do not eat it. Throw it away. It's no use. It's no good. Can't emphasize this enough. I'm going to say this one more time. If there's food that's not healthy and not tasty, do not eat it. Throw it away. It's not a waste. You already paid. You're not saving any starving children in Africa. You're not going to get more money in your bank account by eating the food. If it's not healthy, not tasty, throw it away. 0% of what you eat should be not healthy, not tasty. 10% eat whatever you want. 10% eat healthy but not so tasty foods to expand your taste buds. 80% healthy and tasty. This is the secret. Now, here's another hack that will blow your mind even more. The key to, I don't know why this is here. There we go. Cool. So, the key to really optimizing healthy and tasty foods is to think about all meals in this lens. Here's the lens that I want you to think about. Low calorie, filling, high in protein, tastes great and quick to make. If I give you a standard meal, it's very difficult to all of a sudden make it less calories. It's very difficult to all of a sudden make it more filling. It's very difficult to all of a sudden make it high in protein. That's very difficult to do. However, if we take a meal that at its base is low calories, super filling, high in protein, quick to make, and doesn't taste good at all, it's very easy to add 1 or 2 ingredients and an extra minute of meal prep to all of a sudden make it taste amazing. Let me give you an example. If we take a boring standard meal like chicken and rice, on its own, chicken and rice is medium in terms of calories, in terms of it's not super low, it's not super high, it's kind of okay. I would say it's pretty high in terms of filling, pretty high in protein. I would say just on its own, chicken rice tastes decent, doesn't taste the best, doesn't taste awful, but on its own is okay. And is not quick to make, not long to make, kind of medium as well. So imagine we have all these categories from scale of 0 to 10. In terms of filling, I would say pretty close to a 10. In terms of high in protein, I would say pretty close to a 10. In terms of calories, I would say like it's a 5. In terms of taste, I would say like it's a 5. I would say quickness, I would say it's a 5 as well. So how do we make a meal such as boring chicken and rice from a 5 to a 10 in terms of quickness, in terms of taste, in terms of filling, sorry, in terms of calories as well, while not changing how filling it is or how much protein it is. So if instead of chicken breast, you cut it in half as an example, and you cook it on the pan, it doesn't cook twice as fast, it cooks 5 times as fast. Because thin slice of chicken or thin slice of steak cook super, super fast. So do that. Or what you can also do is instead of taking instead of taking chicken breast, you can have ground chicken or ground turkey or ground beef. Cooks way faster and just as filling, just as low calorie, also high in protein. And also, if instead of rice you take cauliflower rice, all of a sudden the calories go way down. It's way low on calories. Now, I know what you're thinking. Cauliflower rice and ground chicken? That sounds disgusting. And you're not wrong. And this is where the cheat codes come in. So a cheat code is any 0 or low calorie condiment. So I personally think mustard is the greatest thing that was ever created by humankind. Kombucha is the worst thing that was ever created. Mustard is the best thing that was ever created. In fact, have mustard at close to me at all times. And again, this is 0 calories, which means you can put as much as you want. Fantastic option. So, cauliflower rice with ground chicken or ground turkey or ground beef, doesn't matter, it's all the same. I personally think ground turkey tastes the best, but in terms of calories and protein, it's all the same. So, either of those options, ground turkey and cauliflower rice with mustard, phenomenal. Don't like mustard, you can put hot sauce. You can put Tabasco. You can put whatever you want, any low calorie or 0 calorie condiment. That is the cheat code. Because as I mentioned, it's very easy to make a meal that doesn't taste good all of a sudden taste amazing. But it's very difficult to make a meal. It's very difficult to lower a meal's calories. It's very difficult to increase a meal's fullness, to increase a meal's protein, to increase how quick it is to make. So the key is to take a meal that at its base is super low in calories, super high in protein, super filling, quick to make, and worry about taste last. I'm not saying don't worry about taste, but worry about it last because that is the easiest thing to manipulate. And if you do that, then it makes it very easy to eat healthy and tasty foods. Lastly, I'm going to drink some water because I've been talking a lot. Another hack, drink water at all times, makes you feel more full. Anyways, all right. Lastly, I wanted to give you, so this is an extremely practical, pragmatic video that will help you out a lot, is think about your 3 favorite fast food options, be it restaurants or restaurants in general, and come up with the top 1 or 2, maybe even 3 go-to foods that are both healthy and tasty. And if you do that, if every time you go to Chick-fil-A, you order the healthiest option there is, then you'll be golden. No matter where you're going, no matter how much you're traveling, no matter what's going on in your life, even if you're traveling, if you know you can go to any fast food place and still order one of the healthiest and tastiest foods that you enjoy, that is high in protein, low in calories, and fills you up, then no matter if you're traveling, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what's happening, you can always make it happen. That is the key. And if you're able to get to the point where you can eat mostly healthy and tasty foods 80% of the time, even when you're traveling, even when you're eating out, then you've won. And once you get to that point, then you can eat foods that you enjoy at all times and you can sustainably lose weight no matter what's going on. So hopefully that was helpful. And if you want to learn more about my approach and how my clients are able to easily sustainably lose weight without going to the gym, then go ahead and check out the main video on this channel and see if us working together makes sense. Until next time, have a good one.